All right, I think we're good to go. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
United States
and to
of
the
America,
republic for which it stands, one nation, under
one
God,
nation, under God,
with liberty
indivisible,
and
with
justice
liberty
for all.
and justice for all.
More lag than there should be.
video when we get done.
All right, we have roll call.
Dan Pillow,
Here.
Lisa Stafford,
Here.
Dan Dalton,
Here.
Ann Pillow,
Here.
Steve Dalton,
Here.
Pam Jackson. Here.
We'll start off with the clerk's report.
You received the minutes from April 12th. This was a special council meeting to discuss how to process the audit.
I'll
Council,
make a
what's your
motion to
pleasure?
accept the minutes from April the 12th, 2021.
Second.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Dan Dalton to accept the minutes. Any discussion?
What was the date on that, Mayor? I'm sorry.
April 12th,
Thank you.
All right, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you received minutes from the Zoom council meeting, or I'm sorry, from the regular council meeting, which was held on the 19th.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes from the council meeting on the 19th. Whatever that designation is.
It's the regular meeting.
I'll
Regular
second
meeting.
it.
Motion by Dan Dalton, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Then you received a one-page emergency meeting that was held on April the 27th.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from April the 27th.
Second.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Dan Dalton. Any discussion?
Yes, I wanted to ask for council's forgiveness for me not attending that meeting. I was at work.
Do that after these minutes.
Yeah, we can do that,
I'll
we'll
make a
do that
motion
right
after.
after these minutes, Lisa, not a problem.
Okay.
Any other discussion? And we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Like to make a motion to accept the absence of Lisa Stafford.
I'll second it.
Second. Second.
Whatever.
Thank you, everybody.
Just pick one.
Yeah, all right. Wait a minute, who made that motion? You did, didn't you?
I made the
Dan.
motion.
All right, motion by Dan Dalton, we'll second that by Steve Dalton. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
you can abstain.
Okay, I
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Okay, you should have received from the previous meeting where I corrected ordinance 4E where I had the amounts missing that you pointed out to me. I put those back in and re-added everything, and I did change the playground thing from We Thrive to the general fund.
I make a motion that we accept ordinance 4E.
I'll second it.
Motion by Lisa Stafford, second by Pam Jackson. Any discussion on that one? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Next, you should have received the regular pay period for 5A. This was bi-weekly payroll, which was paid on April the 23rd. All was dispersed from the general fund, $10,946.22.
I'll make a motion to accept 5A 2021.
Second.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Dan Dalton. Is there any discussion on this, council?
Yes, I don't see the total at the bottom.
For 5A? You don't see
Right.
$10,946.22?
Am I the only one not seeing the total at the bottom?
Hang on, I'm
You're
looking.
correct.
No, it doesn't actually have the total.
Is it not on there?
No,
I must have picked the wrong one, I'm sorry. Because I had two, I had one on my desktop and one on my thumb drive. I can send it to you, but it was all dispersed from the general fund. Hold on, let me see if I've got it saved to this one. I can send it out if I've got it saved to this one. I have it saved. Oh well, I guess I'll have to send it to you later because it's not on this one, it's on my desktop.
I mean, can't we just write that in?
Good.
Yeah, it's $10,946.22 and it's all from the general fund.
Can we take a minute to add it up, make sure it's correct?
Sure.
This is 5A, right?
Yep, 5A bi-weekly that was paid on April the 23rd.
Let me know when everybody's comfortable with that.
I wish somebody would call me a lawyer.
I didn't even look at it, didn't notice the bottom.
Well, mine has it on there.
'Cause I guess I
must
just
have printed the
scroll
right
down.
one and attached it to the paycheck stubs.
I usually just look at all the payables, what they are.
That's kind of, yeah. I didn't scroll further down. Waiting on the internet, council people.
Margret, when I called it, I only came up with 8,000. Am I missing something in my report?
Hey, you know what? I don't
Maybe
think
the last
so.
few lines or something. See what this was.
Like I said, I don't have it saved on this one because,
I came up with 944206.
Is that 5A that we're talking about?
Yeah.
it's
I suggest that we
5A.
have to send us another, send us another copy.
Yeah, I'll send you another copy. I mean,
The last thing you put on there was a line 11 from Andrew.
yeah.
Is that
Well,
what you have too?
no, I added Burton because I didn't have him on there. There was two.
Oh, because we didn't actually pay
Because
that
we
out.
didn't actually pay Richard Burton, and I went back and made sure it was on here. We still got the check. So that's why there's an increase. There should have been a paycheck for Richard Burton for 79 hours out of the general fund for $1,504.16. That should bring it up to the $10,946.22.
That's what I was thinking, it's probably just missed the last one.
That was,
Well, what I did was I printed it off and put it with all the checks, and then I sent them the one that didn't have him on it.
Council, what's your pleasure with that?
My pleasure, Mayor, is to have the clerk send us another ordinance, or we table this ordinance until our next meeting.
Is that in a form of a motion?
Well, they've already been paid.
No, ma'am, that was just my pleasure. We have a motion on the floor.
Yeah, we'd have to miss.
We do have a motion on the floor?
By Pam and Dan.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's
We could-
okay, that's a discussion.
yeah.
If you wanna,
We can rescind the motion if you want. Just bring it back at the next meeting.
I'll rescind my second, no problem.
all right. Just bring that back to the next meeting.
Okay, we're bringing that back to the next meeting. Sorry about that, guys.
Happens.
Okay, the next one you have is 5B, and this is for accounts
I can
payable.
get the vote. Oh, not gonna vote. No, go right ahead.
He rescinded the motion.
They rescinded it, Pam rescinded her motion, he rescinded the second. I'm gonna update it and send everybody a new copy for the next meeting.
Thank you much.
You're welcome. The next one you have is 5B, and this is for accounts payable. Dispersed from the general fund, $7,142.21. From the fire EMS fund, $19,217.28. From the street construction maintenance repair fund, $1,416.24. For a combined total of $27,775.73.
I'll make a motion to accept 5B 2021.
Second.
Motion by Pam Jackson, second by Dan Dalton. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
That's all I have here.
All right, thank you, Margaret.
You're welcome.
We'll go ahead and go to the treasurer. Did you have a report this round?
Yes, ma'am. You should have all received the revisions going back to December for the changes in the 3 We Thrive and the Hitchens Park accounts. I'll let you guys take a look at those, and I will read the March report, if that's okay. Currently, the March report, we have a beginning balance for total controlled council funds of $165,859.70. With receipts and expenditures, our ending balance for total council controlled funds is $156,078.83. In conjunction with the water board controlled funds, beginning balance $64,629.07. With receipts and expenditures, ending balance of $94,981.71. A combined total is beginning balance of $230,488.77, with combined receipts and expenditures, and ending balance for total combined funds is $251,060.54.
I'll make a motion, we receive the treasurer's report as read.
Second.
Motion by Dan Pillow, second by Steve Dalton. Any discussion?
I just have one question. We used to get the outstanding checks and that. Is there any way that we can get those?
A
was
list of
attached.
people that haven't actually
Yeah.
cashed the checks.
Because you really don't have the whole picture without, I mean, just if you would, you probably don't know. Didn't
Did
know
you hear that, Audrey?
I did. I can start doing that if you would
Okay.
like, yes.
All right, thanks. That's all. We just always used to. It's just something I just recently noticed. I don't know why.
Okay.
All
I
right,
wasn't aware that you received that,
all right, that's okay. All right, thanks.
but I'll do it in the future.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
I'm sorry, I got that in, I wanna make sure it works.
We're ready. I guess nobody has anything else. Well, nobody's even put in the motion.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We had
that's it.
discussion.
Dan
Or
Pillow?
Dan.
It's rough.
got it, guys. All right, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Today,
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Nobody does.
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Is that all you have, Audrey? No. That's all you had, right, Audrey?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I was muted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go to myself. Let's see. I don't really have a lot tonight, Council, but there is one thing that I wanted to bring up, about Aaron's pay. I know that you guys had mentioned if you had at least approved the 3% in this year's budget. Or do you have any plans of giving her at least that?
Yes, we need to do that. We need to have Bob change that ordinance to reflect the pay increase. Thank you for the reminder, Mayor.
Do we need to backdate it?
I would.
Somebody making a motion.
Yeah, it needs to be a motion.
and, question, will that be radioactive? Pretty radioactive, or will it be retroactive until January 1st?
Margaret, is there a way to do that where it's not a tremendous hassle on the books?
There is, the thing of it is I have to go back for each pay period for the retirement and add what that difference is so they can update her retirement so that her contribution and the village contribution is credited to her year of service.
Yeah.
Is it possible to do a one-time payment and separately from the hourly increase? Would that make things simpler?
It still has to be reported because it's income.
I think what he's saying, Margaret,
Is to do it for a one time.
Are you saying just to calculate a gross amount and make a one-time payment?
Yes, you do a gross amount, one-time payment to get her caught up from what we should have been giving her in January, and then we raise hourly rate from this point forward. That way it's not a retroactive thing and it's kind of complicated to go back and why did council do this mid-year? So same effect, Erin gets the money she should get, but maybe it makes it look cleaner on paper.
Yeah, you can do it that way. It's just so that I just have to report it as income. And if you do it the other way, retroactive, it has to be reflected by pay periods, like each month. So the one-time thing would be based on, the 10% would be on whatever lump sum it is, and same way with the 14% that council pays on.
Bob, would that have to be put in an ordinance that we're doing a one-time payment for some reason and then also adjust the hourly rate, or how would that work?
You'd have to do two ordinances.
Council, with your okay, I'll work with the clerk to come back for our next council meeting with all those numbers and ordinances for us to approve.
I'm okay with that.
And Bob, I'll run that language by you too and the numbers and make sure it's all copacetic.
Sounds good.
Do we need an ordinance for Bob to come, or a motion for Bob to come back with the two ordinances?
Yes.
Yeah. So moved.
Seconded.
Motion by Dan Dalton, second by Lisa Stafford. Have Bob draw up those ordinances. Any further discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Actually, there is some discussion. So am I getting the figures to Bob? Is that what you asked me for, Steve? You mentioned the clerk.
Yeah, well,
So-
we can work on it together, but we'll give Bob the figures. And then we'll double check each other before we give it to Bob to make sure everything's good.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm in.
Any further discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay?
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
I don't have anything else yet at this moment. I'll think of something a little bit, I think. All right,
What
we'll
about
move
that
to,
backup quote, Mayor?
please.
What about that backup quote?
I have a maintenance guy here to talk to you about that.
Oh, okay, cool, sorry.
I'll let him deal with that. I gotta step up to the plate kind of person for a little bit at least till I get somebody else. But yeah, that's all I have for Dow as far as me that I can think of. We'll go to Bob. I know we have an ordinance with him.
I have an ordinance authorizing the mayor, village clerk to enter into an agreement with the Center for Local Government.
Just to bring council up to date, the finance committee met with the local government rep. We do feel there are some potential savings and benefits for the village. What we were recommending is that we try it for this year at the prorated rate. Nothing else, we should recoup the fees just on being part of the electrical consortium and being able to save on our electric bills. But we'd like to try it for the remainder of the year and then reevaluate to see what the savings are for the village.
Is there a cost or what is?
Yeah. Yeah, it's $1,200 a year, so it would be
It's
$100
$1,200 a year, but it's gonna be prorated for us, so I guess it's gonna be based on, from May through December. It's, like Pam just said, that for a full year, it's $1,200, so it's $100 a year. So it would be,
And that was sent out
that was sent out to everybody.
last council.
It was sent out at the previous council meeting for everybody to see it, and then it was referred to the planning, or to the finance committee.
I'm only asked one question, and that is what is going to be our cost. I got the information, I just want to know what the cost is going to be for this year.
Is it gonna start in June or May?
Well, as soon as we get it to him, it'd probably start in May.
Okay,
Soon as
well,
it's
in that
ordered,
case, it'll be
pay it.
$700 for this year. It'll be $700 this year, Dan, and then after if we evaluate and accept it for the full year, it'd be $1,200.
We still need a motion.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion, we accept the ordinance as written.
Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry, gotta do the emergency thing, excuse me.
You're just gonna suspend the rules.
Gotta dig it up here. I move to suspend the rules.
Make that, okay.
I move to suspend the rules, read the ordinance 3 times by title only, declare it an emergency. After it's read 3 times, move to adopt the ordinance as read.
I'll second it.
Motion by Dan Dalton, second by Pam Jackson. Is there any discussion?
It's the first one I ever did.
I think you have to split those motions.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely. But my question is, shouldn't that be a part of the ordinance? I guess that's what I was getting at. If we're passing an ordinance on how we're gonna do things, shouldn't there be a cost in the ordinance? That's all I was trying to get to. That was my only question. Move it.
out, do we need to have the cost included in that ordinance for this year?
I don't see
If
it.
you want it included in the ordinance, I can change that and include it. Problem is, if it runs more than 700, then you're gonna be back. So,
I honestly thought that we would get the price quote from him when we talked to him. I
Tell it.
kind of agree with not passing the ordinance without the price quote in it.
I agree too, I thought we had the price quote with us.
Yeah,
This is not really an emergency thing.
no, it's not.
It's nice to have, it's not a, like, life or death for the village.
Well, if we wait through 3
Right.
meetings, it's not gonna be sometime, it's gonna end up being sometime in June.
Well, that's,
So we start a month later?
yeah.
there's another meeting in April, or May, excuse me.
Yeah, we got another one.
That's why I said, but we have to do it 3
So then I
times.
suggest that we table the motion and we get the exact price quote, and it doesn't have to be an emergency, it'd just be a regular ordinance.
I just sent the director an email to
It has
ask
to
him
be
if
3
he could
meetings,
tell
so
me
it's gonna end up
price.
being in June.
Technically, it can be 2, because
Wow.
you can do the first one, and then the second meeting, you can actually make a motion to have your second and third reading
Okay.
at that meeting.
I thought he did give it to us.
I learned something new.
He just said it would be
Glad I could help you
prorated.
out.
Yeah, but it said 1,200 a year.
So we're just gonna put that for the next meeting then?
I would suggest we do.
Bob, did you have anything else?
That was it.
All right, thank you, Bob. Got through all of this up here. I'm gonna go ahead and start with, see, people out in the audience, yeah, department heads and such. Travis King, we're gonna go ahead and go to you at this time.
Okay, just a few things here. For the month of April, we had 12 payment runs in the village, and we had 3 fire runs. Seemed to be pretty consistent, across the board for about average what we do a month down there. On April 15th, our fire prevention person, Scott Dunnigan, he had met with Mr. Weber, I believe his name is, one of your building people, about the issue at 204 Main Street, the Bricks building there. I know that they both had agreed on that building was unsafe for occupancy. So I know that they were in the midst of writing that letter to issue to the building owner. And then I know that they had to stop work order placed on that for right now until that building is either brought up to code or something else is decided there. Other than that, our people have been out doing inspections. We finally got those started back up in March from COVID. So you'll kind of see some people down there doing our building inspections annually for the year. That's about all I had. If you had any questions about anything, I can try to answer those.
Anyone have any questions?
Yes, Mayor, I have just a quick question. Travis, how you doing tonight?
Good, thank you.
Good. Say, my quick question is, you're doing the inspections, how far along are you, or are you finished?
They had just started in March. I'm not even sure.
Oh, okay.
They're probably at the beginning if anybody's even started any of them yet, but they have to be
Right.
completed by September, so you'll see them sometime in the next few months.
Thank you much.
No problem.
Were there, Travis, Dan Dalton, were there a lot of violations over at the Bricks building, or is it just some minor stuff?
There was several, and unfortunately, I don't have all of them as to what was listed. I know that there were serious life safety issues, which, for something to have a no occupancy, we would have to have a pretty serious infractions there for people not to safely occupy that building. I know it's an older building, and to bring that up to code, you know, is gonna be hard to do. But unfortunately, you know, we have to look out for the safety of people that are gonna be inside that, you know, not only our own people, but the general public or the workers, whoever's gonna be there. But I know there were several. I can follow up with Scott and our fire prevention guy and see, you know, and try to get an answer on what those were.
Thank you very much.
I have a question too. How are there people in the building if it's not been occupancy approved? Why would they be able to rent that out? If it's that unsafe, there's people that's in that building. And this is not the first set, this is the second set of group of people. There's been two different people.
Yeah, I mean, there was a stop work order issued, and there should be nobody in that building. If there is, then they're violating the work order.
And who is the only person that knows that is our building inspector? And yourself, of
Probably
course.
in the fire department people, yes. I mean, I don't know if anyone else on council.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thanks,
I think
something.
one of the I don't want to interrupt you.
That's okay,
Go
thanks.
ahead.
I think one of the confusions that started off is Dick never went inside.
Right.
And then when the fire chief got involved and said, hey, we need this inspected, they had to go inside.
Okay.
Okay, have they been
Yeah,
notified?
so that's what
You know,
happened.
And the big problem is, you know, he just wants to occupy that one area, but the whole building needs to be brought to code in order to just occupy that one area.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the major issue there is bringing that entire building to code would be very, very costly.
Well, and then the problem too is, see, what they wanted to do is open up a pet store, which involves allowing public to come in, so that's a public health problem.
Right. I did hear that this past week. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
That store?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the goal is to always have people be able to open businesses, you know.
Right,
We don't want to run people away, but it has to be done safely, and that building is just not safe for anybody to occupy in the current state.
Right. We get it. I understand.
All right, anybody else have anything? Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead and go to the maintenance department. I have Andrew here today, kind of stepping in for us.
Yeah, first things first, anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Andrew Proffitt. I'm the new maintenance guy. I'll start off today by answering your question about the backhoe repairs. We got an estimate back from that from Southeastern Equipment Company for an amount of $1,919.56.
And that you should have gotten your email, council. Okay.
I didn't see one.
Yeah, it was one I sent today.
Did you include me?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I
Is
did.
that for just general maintenance on the backhoe, or is there a fundamental issue with it?
Well, we have quite a few issues. I can list a couple of them off. Estimate for the following issues: engine oil and filter, fuel filter, air filters, transmission and hydraulic filters, water and fuel concern, and we are losing hydraulic fluid, but we cannot find the source.
And this is our new one.
Yes.
Newer one.
It apparently has not received service since 2009.
That's not what I like.
Just,
Oh my gosh.
just a quick question or statement. Oh, that's Bob, I'm sorry, I thought somebody else was talking. Those type of issues, we've only had this a month, and I'm sure that wasn't because we didn't think that buying this from, did we get that from,
Should be it.
Southwest?
Yeah,
You would have thought they would have did the basic maintenance before they sold it to us, but that's sort of.
Well, you
Yeah, I
never, you
was
can never
upset
trust a car
about
salesman.
Hey, Dan, that
That's extra
actually,
$2,000.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy already.
it actually came from Cheviot. It was Southwest brought it from Cheviot.
We bought it through South,
Well, yeah.
Southwest.
they still should have done that
Yeah.
stuff.
Exactly.
I don't know, maybe it wasn't rearing its ugly head, because when we first had it over at the park running it, there wasn't any issues. And then it didn't start stalling until we did the cleanup.
It is.
Have
Could've been
reached
crappy
out to the
gas.
rep to Matt Rice.
I guess you call this a learning moment. We have it, we gotta have it so it runs, and I don't know that we have any recourse. We were gonna check to see if we had any kind of warranty on it, because we've only had it a couple of months.
Dan, I looked at it and it said as is.
Yeah.
That's all it needed to say.
Oops.
You're correct.
Caveat emptor.
And Matt Geist is the rep, and I do have his information. I can give it to the mayor or to Andrew or anybody else that wants it. He's the sales rep that RJ worked with.
In an as-is sale, do they have to disclose any problems that are going on with it?
Nope. That's why it's as it is.
No,
Okay, thank you.
Well, long story short, we need a repaired working backhoe, so I make a motion for the repairs to be done.
Second.
Second.
No other choice.
Motion by Steve Dalton. Second by Dan Pillow. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Hey,
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
What else we got?
Alrighty, so next thing I have is we need brakes for both of our service vehicles, the F-250 and the F-350. I will start off for the F-250 brakes. The parts alone will be roughly $490. We can do in-house labor for that. For the F-350, the brakes and labor will be roughly $850.
And that's for the brakes.
Yes.
Actually,
Alone?
did we replace the brakes for last year?
I don't think so.
not that I'm aware
I
of.
don't know.
I thought we did.
No, I don't remember seeing an invoice for this year for brakes. We had maybe some other work done, but I don't think it included.
Wait a minute, did we?
You know, I think it was to do with brakes,
That's a word
but
done on the big, right.
What'd
I
you
think
say?
it was done to do with brakes, but I don't think the job was complete.
Was it the white truck?
Was it
Yeah.
there?
It was brake lines on the big dump truck.
Yeah, okay, Dawn
yeah.
is saying it was the
Actual
brake
brake.
lines.
Good memory.
Who's driving it? You should know.
All right, so there's that. Just go ahead and go down this list so they can get a glance of what actually all needs done, and then they can
Okay.
decide what they're gonna do.
Alright, so right now, our other mower, our Skag, is currently at Zimmer Power Equipment in Indiana, getting repaired. We are waiting on a flywheel for that, so we do not have an estimated time on when that will be finished, but the cost estimate will be about $1,400.
I'm sorry, who said
That
what?
was Lisa. Yeah.
Say that again, Lise.
Wait. Is that the green one or the other one?
That's the other one, the orange one.
Okay. A flywheel, is that what you said, waiting on a flywheel?
Yes, apparently parts are very hard to come by right now, according to Zimmer and other distributors. So it's on back order.
We're supposed to get it to be this month.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta do something. We can't just do it one
We
day
can't do
more.
that one
We've
now.
got more.
What else we got here?
So for the F-650, that, 1 second. It needs both fuel tanks replaced, it needs both headlight assemblies fixed or replaced, it needs exhaust work. Exhaust work.
I mean, that's the big stuff. So that's something.
I know, but we.
And
How much can we get out of that at the junkyard?
Yeah, I think we need a new one.
So the estimate on that will be about $6,000.
No, you have to look at all of them because they
That's
were,
why I said just have you go down the list and then you
because they
guys.
were all paged back like purchased back either 2.6 or 2.8.
Right.
That's how long we've had this.
Big dumpster.
Well, the F-650 is an 01.
Does that $6,000 include the brake work you just talked about?
No, the brake, I have not brought up any brake work for the F-650. That was for the F-250 and the
Oh,
F.
it's $650, sorry.
Yep,
That's one part.
That's the big dump, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah, the last time they had the thing with the fuel tank on the big dump, wasn't that the one that Chip made that repair?
Bobby.
Or, who?
I thought we approved that repair sometime last year.
It's leaking
It-
again.
it's-
It was,
It's
something
leading
wrong.
Yeah.
massive
But
puddles.
it's leaking again.
Yep.
I think the
To
farm
the
has
point
to
we
let it
don't
on.
feel
Is
like
it leaking
that.
again because it wasn't ever fixed, or was it really fixed?
No, it's
It was
just
probably
old.
patched.
How many,
It was patched.
how much more does he have? Sounds like we need
They put
new
a rock
equipment.
line on there.
Andrew, I know everybody's talking over everybody, but Andrew, how many miles are on that truck?
I do not have the mileage with me right now.
11,000.
About 11,000, Don says.
And it's, how old?
Don said about
Yeah, there's
11,000.
something to add?
Yes, the F-150, the white truck, it needs more repairs as well. Northbound Auto, we got an estimate for about $700. It needs an oil pan and gaskets replaced.
So that's not too bad.
$700 for an oil pan. That's it?
All right, Andrew,
No gasket?
what are the trucks you feel like you really have to have in that department to do day-to-day maintenance?
The priorities would be the F-250 and the F-350. So long as we have those, we both have a truck that we can do general maintenance, going around the village in, and with the F-350, we would have access to a dump bed if we cannot get the F-650 fixed immediately.
We only need the 650 during the winter, don't we?
We use it for anything else.
Well,
Is the 650 mainly used for salt? Is that like the big use for that?
Salt and the Addyston cleanup, yes.
so we can hold off on that.
Not long, we're over
Yeah.
here.
Winter will be here, and we still have to get all the scrap metal left over from the Addyston cleanup.
It's, for the cost of fixing that truck or replacing it, what would be the cost of having the salt delivered to us?
That's not the thing. We actually use it for a salt truck. It salts our
Yes.
street.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, so we
The
use
salt
big
is
ones
delivered.
as-
yeah,
That's our
Yeah.
big salt truck.
yeah.
Yeah, it's got a salt dispenser on it, Steve.
Oh,
Okay.
You gotta remember, those trucks were purchased in 208, 207 or 208. Those trucks are old.
Were they used when they were purchased?
No, it was purchased brand new,
Back in the days when.
brand new.
Well, that's not that old, they're brand new.
What else
When
we
you
have?
consider,
Wait.
and their use, it does put a lot more strain on them.
Okay, Andrew, help me out here. You said the F-350 and the F-250 are what you need. Is that just, those were both just brakes, right?
Yes, sir.
So, help me out here. Does that total roughly just under 2,000 for both those combined?
Actually, it'd be closer to about $1,200.
Okay, well, that's easy. I'd like to make a motion to get the F-250 and the F-350 repaired for no more than 1,500. That way if it gets jacked up a little bit, you got some room on it.
I'll second.
Motion by Steve Dalton, second by Lisa Stafford. Any discussion? That's for the 250 and the small.
250 and 350, yeah.
That's the white and the red trucks, right?
Both red.
Both red, nothing to do with the white one.
No, ma'am.
That was one that was given to us by Rhonda.
Yeah, Ron, they gave us
No further discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Okay,
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
some. Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay!
Steve Dalton,
Yay!
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Did you have anything else?
Yeah, he's not
Thank
done
you,
yet.
council. What I would like to do for the F-150 and the F-650 Next finance committee meeting, we'll look and see what kind of funds we can find to be able to look at those repairs.
Good.
Fine with me.
Mayor,
Yes.
Mayor, I've got to take a break for a second, and I'll be right back. I'm just gonna walk down the hall.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Alrighty, so, the last thing, vehicle-wise is, our John Deere zero-turn mower, that's the green one. It will need work as well, as soon as we get the SCAG back. From what I've been told, its current problem has a hesitation issue, where we'll be out mowing and it'll just stop. And it'll really bog down and just not want to do much. So the only way to resolve that is to turn it back on, turn it back off. From what I was told, the previous guys had mowed the grass without the gas cap on. So that means that there could have been a number of things that fell into it and got inside the engine, messed it up. So,
Or fuel filter.
or fuel filter, correct. So that's something that needs to be looked at as soon as we get our other mower back.
I think they looked at the fuel filter, it goes deeper.
Oh, boy. Have you
What's the
ever
cost of
met,
that repair, do we know yet?
That one we have to find out, because it's gotta go to the shop before we can.
Yeah, I've yet to get a quote or get it looked at, but it does need to be taken to a shop.
that's gonna be an exploratory. By the way,
No, the
Are you
SCAG,
able to replace the fuel filter if that's the problem, Andrew?
I wouldn't see why I wouldn't be able to, but I cannot diagnose it myself.
yeah, you could try the fuel filter, but.
yeah, fuel filter doesn't cost that much.
Can we start with a fuel filter and then see if it needs something else?
That we can.
How much is a fuel filter? It could be more than $15.
They're not that expensive.
I think go ahead. Do you need a motion? You need a motion for him to buy a $15 fuel filter? Seems a little, whatever.
So I make a motion, we let him buy a fuel filter and see if that's the problem.
Second.
Second.
Motion by
Make a
Lisa
Dalton.
Stafford, second by Steve Dalton to allow him to buy the fuel filter. Any
If that's not
discussion?
the problem, you just bring it back to us, Andrew, okay?
Alrighty.
I'll have it looked at.
Well, I mean, that's what we usually like to do, is have it looked at, but we can't even afford to let it go right now till we get the SCAG back.
Right.
Gotta have some.
And I hope you guys are okay with that too, because. can't
Did
get
you
away
have
with
some sort of a conversation with Chip Brinkman when he was down here for the cleanup?
it. Are we right? No. Call for the vote.
Just seemed like the same.
Dan Pillow,
Yay?
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Just
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay. He's still standing on there.
He's just sitting there like. No, but that's.
As far as vehicles and equipment, that should be it. Something else that does need to be addressed is the state of the roof of the maintenance garage, because it's leaking pretty bad, and I'm pretty sure we're starting to get some mold on the second floor.
I like to make a motion, we
I'd like to
get.
make a motion for Andrew to get a price quote on repairing the roof of the garage.
We think
I'll
about it.
second.
Motion by Steve Dalton to get the quote for the roof, second by Lisa. Any discussion?
Yep.
No, she just agreed.
No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay?
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
I have one more question before you sit down. What was the problem with the stag again?
The
Skag, my bad.
It had some
Yeah.
electrical problems that was causing it to stall out while we were routing, and they told us while they had it that it needed a new flywheel as well.
Did we already approve that?
The flywheel or the electric?
I don't know if you guys.
Yeah.
Either or?
I think the flywheel came after while they were in there with it.
Yes.
I think you mentioned it at the last emergency meeting, but nothing was really, you said that there was problems, but, you know, that's when you got the little push.
Oh, because he didn't, yeah, because he
At the
didn't have
time, we really
everything.
didn't know what was going on.
Right, because we didn't
And
have
what
all
are
the
they
issues.
quoting what are they quoting the price at fixing all that?
$1,400.
We have to have it mow the grass, right?
Yes,
Pretty
ma'am.
much.
So I make a motion that we approve the repairs on the Skag, not more than $1,500.
Second.
Motion by Lisa Stafford, second by Steve Dalton. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Alright, I think I'm spending enough of this money now.
Did anybody have any questions for Andrew while he's still hanging around?
Andrew, I know you're way understaffed currently, but is there a plan to kind of spray the weeds that are kind of coming up between all the cracks and stuff all over the village?
Yes, sir. We need to make sure that we have a working sprayer, as well as I need to get certified to use the weed killer.
And I have the information on that because I would fill it out and send it when Chip went to get certified and recertified.
Okay.
So I can get
I
with
think
you on
I'll
that.
probably end up doing it anyway. We'll strap it on the mayor's back and I'll walk up and down the street.
You may be eligible for compensation.
I make a motion that we do what needs to be done and pay for the certification for Andrew to spray the weeds.
Second.
Motion by Lisa Stafford, second by Dan Dalton. Any discussion? I didn't. Certification to spray weeds to me is kind of.
Yeah, it's a special kind of
I
spray.
know. We'll call for the vote.
Dan Pillow
Yay.
and Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Don't ask us a question.
Thank you, Andrew. We'll go ahead and go to the police chief.
There's no money left.
She just thought she'd tell you.
Let's get that out in front, right?
Yeah.
In reference to the National Literacy Foundations, you guys had taken a vote on to let them put the little library up. They've reached back out to us. We are going to be their 100th library, so they want to kind of do a little celebration down here when they do that. I told them I needed to clear that with council. As soon as I have a date, if you guys are okay with it, I will let you know.
Like the news here and stuff for the January 100.
For our stats last month, I did not get a chance to get with Aaron today to get reports taken or citations issued. We did have 2 traffic crashes last month. We did recover 2 additional handguns again. We've made 2 additional felony methamphetamine arrests. This is starting to become a pattern coming through here. We are starting to get a lot of meth and a lot of guns and a lot of heroin again. It's almost once to twice a week now we're getting these kind of busts, and these aren't just small time people. We're getting people with large amounts of cash and large amounts of drugs, 5, 6, 7, 8 times bulk. The last methamphetamine that Officer Pate found was 10 times bulk. We had 1 bar fight on the last day of the month, which was where we had a gun recovered. We went to the range. I asked last council meeting to go to the range. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask for another day at the range. We went to Great Oaks. The instructor they provided us was less than zippy. 2 hours and 15 minutes to get 12 officers to handgun, where we normally do that in an hour and a half with everything that we do. So I am going to reach out and find an instructor that is willing to instruct us, but I will need an additional 2 hours of range time to get everything else in, because we did not get everything done on Saturday or Sunday.
What was it cost?
Don,
It's 70 an hour.
That's what I thought, something like that.
It was 80 an hour the last time because we used their instructor, which that will never happen again.
Don, if you can get with me after the meeting, I can probably hook you up.
I have one in mind. I'll let you know if he can't do it. There's a sergeant in Oxford who has qualified us before. He just was not available this past weekend. So I went ahead and used the instructor at Great Oaks, thinking things would be all right, and that was not a good decision on my part.
Okay.
I apologize to council. I didn't know it was going to go that way. I was not planning on having an additional range day and spending extra money. I'm not real happy with it. I'm not real happy that we received that kind of service from Great Oaks. Other than that, the only other thing I have is we are in need of lockout kits for our police cars. We have not purchased lockout kits since Tom VonLuehrte was the chief. I can get 4 lockout kits for the current setup of cars for $365. That can come out of the Community Policing Initiative. I also need to purchase traffic cones, which we use on traffic crashes to save on flares, because flares are not cheap. 10 traffic cones will roughly be $250. That also could come out of the Community Policing Initiative. And the last thing, we are still trying to find in-car radios from when council approved those a month or 2 ago. I think you approved me up to $700 for in-car radios. Unfortunately, after I got the approval last time, those were gone. So we're just waiting for the right deal to come along to get those, and that would come out of the Community Policing Initiative as well. And other than that, we've got everybody up and running. I still need to get a couple of uniform items, but they will be, that would come out of the initiative as we discussed with the last meeting. It's not going to be as much as we thought. I did get lucky. One of the vests that we had ordered, one of the Angel Armor vests, I thought we were going to have to get a new vest for Officer Hardy. This vest fit Officer Hardy, so again, that's going to save us $400 to $500 on having to buy a vest there.
Is that the big guy?
Yes, one looks like a linebacker.
What's that big?
All right, so Don, you need $250 for cones, right?
Yes, and $365 for lockout kits. Probably a little bit more than that on the lockout kits, because I gotta get shipping. What's that?
And how much is the range?
How much was the range?
The range will be $70 an hour if I go back up to Great Oaks. Unfortunately, it seems like it's easier for me to go there and use their range because the officers in their full-time jobs through the week, it's an inconvenience for them to have to take off through the week for me to go to Indian Hill.
So 2 hours, 140 bucks, is that
Yeah.
enough, or is it?
Yeah, 2 hours with the other instructor, as long as I can get him, or if I can get another instructor that has done more police work and is more efficient, we should be done well within 2 hours.
Are you talking all the officers again?
Yes.
So that would be multiplied times.
Well, the range time is only 70. It'll be 140 for the range, then plus their hourly for the training. And I believe I put in my budget this year for 8 hours of training for each officer. So we'll still be under that for the year, because I don't plan on going to the range a second time this year after this.
All right, so I'm gonna, and this might be a bad motion, but I'll make a motion to approve the training time pay for the officers, and then an additional $755 to cover the cost of cones, range time, and lockout boxes.
Second.
Motion by Steve Dalton, second by Lisa Stafford.
Yeah.
Any discussion?
Quick question, Don. First off, on the range, you ran all those people through last time and none of them got certified, or?
No, only thing we got done at the range this time was handgun.
Okay, they weren't certified in anything else, okay.
Yeah, and that's, normally we go through and in a 2-hour time frame, we can normally do everything we need, plus do some skilled shooting drills in 2 hours. And we actually went over the 2 hours, and I've already told Great Oaks, it wasn't our fault we went over the 2 hours, it was their instructors, and we're not gonna pay anything over 2 hours. I'm still arguing with them, I'm gonna try to get some of our money cut off of that, because this instructor was extremely rude and extremely slow, and for 20 minutes we sat for him trying to figure out how to work the computer to move the targets.
And that's the instructor, he should know how to do that.
Yeah.
And this is just for my own, the lockout kits, are those the air bladder type?
It'd be, the lockout kits will come with the long reach tool. They'll also come with a tool that we can slide through the window and grab if it has the top locks. We grab the knob and pull it up. And it also comes with the air wedges and also a hard wedge. We can no longer use, there's not enough of them on the road anymore to justify them. Slim Jims can't be used anymore on cars with side impact airbags, because if you hit the igniter, you will hit the Slim Jim through the bottom of your chin.
Any other discussion? We'll vote.
Dan Pillow?
Yay.
Lisa
Yay.
Stafford?
Yay.
Dan Dalton?
Yay.
Ann Pillow?
Yay.
Steve Dalton?
Yay.
Pam Jackson?
Yay.
That's all I have.
TJ White.
John.
Yes.
Before you go away, I have a question. I got the mailer for the survey for the police department.
Yes.
But that survey was not approved to be mailed out by council. We had requested that the survey be brought back to us before it was approved and sent out.
I understand that. We got the survey started, and they had already went ahead and set up the mailing date. I contacted the mayor to ask her if it was okay to go ahead and send, and I was given the go-ahead.
Oops, sorry.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like we're getting a lot of ask for forgiveness after the fact. I mean, I remember I even checked the minutes to make sure I said that properly. I specifically said that that should be brought back to council before it was sent out. Like, that was specifically, and Don, you even looked at me and said, okay, I got you.
I understand that. That's why.
And that was the exact wording.
That is
So,
why when.
Council made a motion, and it was kind of pretty much just ignored.
That's why when I contacted the mayor and advised her what had happened, she said to go ahead and go forward.
Because, like, also, I was looking, you and Officer Payton also were the ones to create the community policing initiative on the initial paperwork.
Yes, I am no longer on that.
Please?
I'm no longer on that.
Okay, but you originally were, and so here's my concern. I feel like a lot of things are kind of getting slid under the radar of council, and it does get a little frustrating, especially on some of the things like, not that I think you guys are doing anything wrong, but last time we kind of let the reins lighten up, we got in a lot of trouble with our other things going through, you know, with machine guns, stuff like that. So, like, it is a little frustrating when council is very specific about what we vote on, and then things don't work out.
I understand that. I would not have went forward if I wasn't. I'm sorry, Steve. I would not have went forward if I was not given the go-ahead by the mayor. It would have sat.
It would be nice, Mayor, if you're going to, if there's an emergency situation, to inform us that we're kind of overriding our request or our ordinance or our vote.
Yeah, I
the other thing-
apologize, I didn't think about it, I thought that should have only, I mean, I didn't see anything wrong with it, but I forgot about that and I just said okay anyway.
The other question I had is the Tahoe. Are you taking that home now?
Yeah, I've been taking it home.
Did the mayor give you, the council okay? Did I miss something that I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I don't remember that discussion. I know we were talking about things, but council never approved anything there that I'm aware of.
I'll start leaving it here until it goes in front of council. I was under the understanding it was okay for me to take it home. I'll leave it here.
Again, if council approves it, I don't have an issue. Like, if you ask me right now, I'll vote for you to take it home. It's more are there things, like everything we've researched, there are different pay things and different other things that go into that, or so I've been informed. I just want to make sure we don't get in trouble for a cruiser or something like that being issued and it come back on you or the village.
Okay, it goes from here to, I'm not gonna give my personal address out, but it goes from here to my residence inside the village.
No, I know. I don't, like I said, I don't have an issue with it. It's more the council okay this, and I think we need to okay it if you're gonna be able to do it.
Yeah, and I also think we probably need a policy on it. Somewhat, just not that you're doing anything that you shouldn't be doing. We realize that's too from work, or unless you're called out or something like that.
What would the policy be? I mean,
You still have to have
he
one.
either does it or he doesn't. An ordinance should be
The
enough.
policy protects the village when the auditors come in and question. You have something that you can refer back to. That's what they zing us on, is the little things that you don't think have.
Here's-
Oh, Dan wasn't
First off, Steve, I agree with you 100% that there does seem to be a lot of stuff that's not being brought before council, and we get it secondhand or off the street. It takes me back to the thing I continually ask the council about, and that is, we need to spend some time as a council and make sure we're all on the same page, and that we're going to say, this is how things are going. We're going to give reports back. We're going to give rules, laws, and contracts and things back. I just wish that we could spend some time as a council beyond taking care of our business, which is what we have to do. It's time consuming, but we're going to have to take some time as a council to discuss how we will function as the governing body of the village of Addyston, which we are. We make the decisions, mayor carries them out for us, and we go from there. But we need to be informed. We have to be informed as a council.
So, Don, what's going on with the association?
They should be sending a representative. I'm no longer on that. I've had my name removed completely from it.
Because Darnell's name was on it also.
Yeah, he's one of the members of it, yes.
And it has the Addyston Police Department on it.
It's the Addyston Police Association.
Now, Bob Kelly, our solicitor, had given us some information as a council about some cautions about the name, the Addyston Police Association being used. I think we ought to either, if we don't understand what Bob's saying, get clarification from Bob, as to the possible perils of us being named as the Addyston Police Association. Now, that being said, Bob can probably tell us the difference between saying we're the Addyston Housing Association, so which could be a separate entity. But Bob, I really want to hear again from Bob about these things, so again, we don't find ourselves in some kind of trouble.
If you're asking me the question, I think that Addyston Police Association, the involvement of any police officer in that association is fraught with problems. Because at that point in time, if you have a police officer going out soliciting money, okay, or being involved with an organization soliciting money, it just creates an appearance that you really don't want. In other words, you pay these officers to patrol the village, and they should patrol the village. If there's a group of citizens out there that want to do something, that's one thing. But there's too many problems that could come down the pike in terms of collecting money by an officer who is supposed to not look at black, white, red, pink, or anything else and just dispatch his duties. I just think it's, to be quite honest with you, I think you're losing control over what council should control in terms of its employees, what their duties are, what their responsibilities are, and what the conduct of your officers should be. Now, that's me, and I think I can write you a letter on that and explain it to you longhand and provide you specific examples. But I don't think there should be one police officer that's on that police association.
Can I say something here?
As I say, want to run the risk of possibly getting indicted by the Hamilton County prosecutor at some point in time in the future, which is another thing the village doesn't need at the present time after coming through the machine gun case. In other words, if you go back to that machine gun case, initially, when the first subpoena hit, Dorian advised me, well, you know, we can get these things and we're allowed to demonstrate them, okay? That's the first part of the story, which is understandable. You could go out and demonstrate them. Why you would want to demonstrate a machine gun for a village of 1,000
honestly,
people?
I think we're past the machine gun thing. This is really not.
You may be past it.
We keep
But what
bringing
I'm
it
saying
up though,
is-
and like comparing that to anything and everything they do. There's got to be a point in time where something they do is not about the machine guns.
I know it's not about the machine guns, but by analogy, just like when Steve Dalton says about the survey, where these issues come up, I think that the police department has to understand that they have accountability not only to the mayor, but also to the laws and ordinances of the village, and also to the laws of the state of Ohio, and that's how they should dispatch their duties.
Right, when they're
I
on
think
duty. So what you're saying is when they're off duty, they're not allowed to participate. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that they shouldn't be involved in any type of managerial aspect of the Addyston Police Association.
And they're not, correct?
No, the president of the association is, they have not elected one yet. The secretary is Shy, I don't know what her last name is, or the treasurer is Shy, the co-owner of Route 50 Saloon. The secretary is Officer Nick Jackson, so he takes the notes and presents minutes. Anything they do is off-duty. They are out of uniform. They don't represent themselves as innocent police officers.
They don't vote in that association either, do
The board does, yeah. If they need to not vote, then, but they're doing this they're not doing this as a police officer. They are off-duty when they were doing this. I did some checking into this when I heard there were some concerns, and I removed myself from it. The closest one to us is Delhi Police. They have their own police association. They charge members $21 a year. You have to fill out an application, and guess who they turn that application into? The chief of police for Delhi. Delhi has several police officers on their commission. Anything that they do off-duty, out of uniform. The police commission's books are open to audit by the state auditor's office. They're open to audit from the attorney general's office. They have to obtain a state tax ID number, an EIN number, and they are registered with the state. I have removed myself completely from the organization as requested by Solicitor Kelly, but I don't know how them off duty, doing something trying to help benefit the village and benefit the police department if need be, is such a detracted thing. They just put a thing out that the police association is giving away $1,500 in scholarships this year. No money, no money coming through the village at all. Everything is done outside of this building.
Now, I have another quick question. I look at the charter, or whatever it might be called. Are there people from Addyston who are involved in this?
We have Tommy Getz, who is a member of their board, and they are looking to get another civilian member now. It may be a civilian just in the Three Rivers Valley.
But not Addyston necessarily.
No, we had one that was here from Addyston, but her family business was taking priority, so she decided to step away from it.
I mean, they can make it somebody in Addyston. If we find people who volunteer.
Yeah, if somebody from Addyston wants to step up and be on it, I'm sure they'd be happy to have them instead of trying to find somebody. That's why this is totally separate. They've been advised they can't do anything on duty. They cannot have their uniforms on. They can't go to somebody and say it's the Addyston Police Department. Anything they do has to be the Addyston Police Association. They have to be accountable to the state of Ohio's treasurer, the Attorney General's office, and they're off duty when they're doing it. I'm not paying them a dime to be out there and do anything. And not everything they're doing is going to go to the police department. Like I said, they're doing they're giving away $1,500 in scholarships to kids out of Three Rivers schools. They want to do kickball games. They want to do movie nights for the kids, get things done in the community that the police department can't use village funds to do. Delhi Police Association right now has got almost $500,000 in their bank account that their police officers have helped them raise off duty. That's why you see Delhi running around in brand new cars every year. I don't expect that. I expect them to put most of this money back into this community. It helps fund things like Shoes for the Shoeless. They can make donations to them. Last year we gave away 100 pairs of shoes and socks at no cost. They're planning on having approaching council because they tell me what they're doing, kind of what they're doing. They'd like to have a community grill out for the community at no cost when everything's okay with the COVID down at the park. Provide meals to everybody in this village at no cost just to get them out, get them to meet each other, and get them to meet all the police officers. I don't see a single thing these officers are doing is wrong. They are off duty. They have checked. There are several police associations around this state. If the Attorney General was going to shut them down, they would have shut them down. Delhi would have been shut down years ago. Chevy would have been shut down years ago. There's nothing illegal they're doing. By far, under my watch, nobody here is going to do anything illegal to get this village sued. I sat for 2.5 hours in an interview with the ATF over what Dwayne McWhorter did. I've put 17 years into this department with my dedication and my reputation on the line, and that is not going to happen under my watch. But as for what they're doing off duty, I don't know how I'm supposed to tell them what they can or cannot do off duty. As for the survey thing, I apologize. I'll take it in the back for that one. I should have not done it. That means you need to reprimand me, then reprimand me. I apologize. But as for this police association, I'm not a member of it. This is citizens, business owners, and 2 police officers off duty. The state of Ohio felt that they were legit enough to give them a number. The IRS is giving them a tax exemption number. And they're a registered 501c3.
Yep.
So everybody knows that a 501c3 is auditable by the state. So if they choose to do anything with their books, then that's on them. They know that they can be audited. They know they have checks and balances they have to get and what they have to do.
Here again, I just want to know, and we have legal representation to tell us what we need to do to keep us out of trouble, and that's my bottom line.
If the police association goes to make a donation to the village and they choose to refuse it, then that's the village's choice. They'll just donate it to another agency.
No,
Not talking about hypotheses, I'm talking about our solicitor saying yes, no, or indifferent. Nobody, I'm not speaking for people around the table. I'm only speaking for me, and that is to make sure that it's clear what our solicitor is recommending to the Council of Village Facts. That's all I'm trying to do.
And I understand that, Dan, but like I said, with the police association, it has nothing to do with the police department. Addyston and police are not trademarked or copyrighted names. They can use that name. They're doing this away from work, off duty.
Don, I can agree with you that the word Addyston is not copyrighted, okay? But when you get into a situation where this initially came up in March, when this organization was formed, okay? The people that presented the formation of the organization was you. You said that this organization was formed and there was a police officer or police officers involved in the organization. Then when we checked on the organization, it's you and Officer Pate who were the organizers of the organization. The only thing that I'm saying is this: there's a specific law which says that if money's going to be donated to the village by the Addyston Police Association or any organization, there's supposed to be an ordinance passed so the council is completely aware of that donation, where that donation's coming from, and what that donation can be used for. So the thing that I'm saying to you is this: the Addyston Police Association can go do whatever they like to do, but it's not Village of Addyston ratifying what the Police Association does or anything else. If it becomes an issue as far as the officers involved with it, it won't be an issue that's resolved by Village Council. It's going to be an issue that's probably resolved by the prosecutor's office. I haven't looked into Delhi, how they structure their program, but I would assume it has something to do with that skirt softball game or whatever. But I think any issue where you have police officers going out seeking donations is a problem.
But it was.
Frankly, I don't understand why the issue comes up at the council meetings as far as what the Addyston Police Association is doing, because Village Council doesn't have any control over it unless it becomes an issue of violating the policy and procedures handbook of the village. That's the only way it comes into play. And
It was-
to be quite frank with you,
It was brought up because that way council didn't think I was doing something behind their back, or officers were doing something behind their back, like the prior chief did. We were open about it. We let you know what was going on and that it was founded. There was never an issue with the donations when it was the community policing initiative, as long as council voted to take the donation. But now when that's to a separate organization to try to get those donations, to try to honestly take a lot of the responsibility and a lot of the dings that Margaret Ann was getting away, now it's suddenly an issue.
No, actually, if you listen to what he said.
it's not an issue, Don. You misconstrue it. The council's obligation is to fund the police department as long as there is a police department, okay? That's what council's obligation is, which they take seriously and which they funded the police department as they've been required to do. I think the issue is they want to be fully informed about what their officers do, how they're doing it, and village council doesn't want to be used or have its officers use to say, you know, we need more money, so we're gonna form this police association, or have it construed as a extension of the village in any way, shape, or form. If council needs money, they can either pass a tax levy, readjust their appropriations, or raise revenue in some other way. But they're not turning loose their police department to go out and don't take this the wrong way, to shake down people to collect money to operate the Addyston Police Department. I think that's what council doesn't want to be construed as doing.
Hi, council member here. I'm gonna have a say now. I don't have a problem with the Addyston Police Initiative or Police Association raising money, because they're not just raising money to make sure the department has what they need. That's what we do. We make sure the department has brakes and sirens and uniforms. That was brought together to do initiatives with the community, something that we as a council can't and will not pay for. That association, from what I understand, is to make sure that the community and the police are on the same side and we're all getting along. So I don't know why there's always a big problem with it. That as long as they have their paperwork in order and they're good with the state, if an officer is off duty and doing something with them, that's their business if they're off duty. When I'm not sitting at a council meeting, it's none of y'all's business what I do.
Well,
There is no way that I would ever okay a police officer in full uniform to be standing out asking for donations. That is a big time ethics violation when you're doing that. That is why the last time when it was under the Community Policing Initiative, they were told they could not do that. They weren't allowed to go sell raffle tickets in uniform. They weren't allowed to do those things in uniform because it doesn't look good on the village. They're looking to do things, like I said, these community grill outs. They want to do things, they want to pick families at Christmas to do things where we can't draw that out of our general fund and help these people. They're looking at trying to do things like, if somebody has a house painted and people helping cooperatively, people working cooperatively cannot help them, they'll buy the paint and we'll get some police officers together off duty and we'll go paint a house. We'll go cut some grass, we'll do things like that.
I don't see a problem with that.
The only time that the police association would ever try to buy anything for the police department would be with something, if it was something that council could not find a way to budget and we absolutely had to have it.
Plus, there are gifts involved with that too. I'm on the Facebook for the Delhi Citizens Police Association. I think that may serve a little bit of clarity for this whole thing.
Yeah.
That if it's the citizens that are involved, I just sent a message on Facebook to the people that are running the show, and I asked them if Delhi police officers are allowed to be a part of the association. That way we've got that nailed down. As of it being a citizen association, I don't have an issue with that. They don't just get stuff for the police department. They have fundraisers, like Bob pointed out, the skirt game. They have dinners at places like the Meadows and whatnot. This is Delhi, mind you. And that's how they do all their fundraisers. And from everything I've seen on their webpage and Facebook thing, there's no question about whether there's police officers on it or not. This is what they do. They just bought a four-wheel drive vehicle, a Polaris, for the police department, and also a generator.
They just bought them a $25,000 fingerprint machine as well. You know,
I didn't see that, but yeah.
And the police officers are involved, because like I said, to join the police association, Delhi Citizens Police Association, you turn your application into the chief of police.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, we haven't got to the committees yet. Can we wrap this up?
I'll do whatever you all want me to do. I'll tell the police association whatever it is you want me to relay to them, because they don't have anybody here tonight. But I can relay it to them.
Just have one of them come in next time.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
I have a quick question for Don. Don, where was the bar fight?
Route 50.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that why the squad was here?
Which time?
There was a, like within the last week, there's been a
Friday.
squad out in front and a squad over there.
Friday night, there was a squad here because the person that ended up getting arrested, I was here downloading the in-car video, so I had to help them with him. He was the one that we took a gun off of, and he decided to pass out and nosedive in the cell, so we had to have a squad come check him. And then Saturday morning, Officer Brown had a call for a domestic, possible domestic on First Street. He arrested one, came here, and the first time, said he was having trouble breathing, so they squatted him out and they cleared him at the hospital. So Officer Brown brought him back here to try to finish his paperwork. Then he had a heart attack that he went to the hospital to be checked for. So he took the squad ride 2 times.
The one I was talking about was like at between 11:30, 12:30, because
At
I always
night,
wait
on
for
Friday
them
night?
to.
Yeah, that
I always
was,
wait for them to shut down before I go upstairs.
that was the guy that we had somebody take his gun off of him while we were trying to arrest him, and then we had to arrest them as well. We took a fully loaded 45 off of him, coming in on the bar.
Council, if I could, I'd like to swing back to one thing. I'd like to make a motion for laws and contracts to come back with a recommended legislation to be able to allow the acting interim chief or the chief of the village to be able to use their car or one of our cruisers for official use. We've talked, thank you.
Motion by Steve, second by Lisa. Is this what, are you talking about?
Take home car.
Take home? Is that what you meant, Steve?
Take home car, right, Steve?
Yeah, the take-home car, yes.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion?
I will say that we have talked about it, but we will revisit and put the recommendations. I mean, it was talked about because that was one of the things that come to us.
Like I said, I'll start leaving it here. But also, if I get caught out in the middle of the night, I don't know when I'm gonna get to them, because I'm not driving my truck at 100 mile an hour with no lights to get to them if they're 14 miles from here.
Well, hopefully we'll have a recommendation next week, next council.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Any discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
I abstain.
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Did you say? I said Pam. Did I say Pam?
You
I'm
did
sorry.
say, I was waiting, I didn't hear Ann.
Yeah, I said Ann, then Steve, then you.
Hold on.
I know with my head down, it's probably hard to tell. And you'll let me know when you bring
Do you have anything else?
No, I'm done.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a question though? Are you still sending us the schedule or the?
That was just brought to my attention. The sergeant does the schedule now. I thought he was sending it. Now that I know he's not, I will give him the email list. I will make sure that you all start getting the schedule.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Yeah, and do we have?
Well, he took over the
That's
schedule.
Why I
in
haven't
November.
seen it. Thanks
Yeah, I
for
was
bringing
like-
that up.
Yeah, and do we have 2 cars on sometimes?
If there's an OVI car running, yes.
Okay.
Uh,
Because I was asked that, and I said, not to my knowledge.
If there's
'cause
an
I know-
OVI car running, or if I'm here doing like payroll or downloading in-car videos or something, and I hear them get a call, then I will go back them up.
Okay. Someone just asked that, and I said, I don't
And-
think so, but I wasn't sure.
On busy nights, that both the bars are packed, I'll come in and volunteer my time and I'll drive around as a second car at no cost.
Well, I think if that's something that you want to do, I mean, to be paid or so on, just
I'm not worried
take
about
it to
that.
the
I'm
police
not worried.
committee and,
I'm not worried about getting paid for that. I've been doing it for years. If I was worried about it, I would worry about it years ago.
well, I mean, even if like you're not available, there's another officer or someone, if there's different times that you would like to have more than one officer on.
Yeah.
Because summertime weekends can get a little crazy.
And one other thing I wanted to ask you, on the event that we just had, there was pretty many people at that car show, which I really thought there'd be quite a few, but not that many. The next event, will it be even bigger? I know it goes to you when they did the application and the mayor.
Actually, the special event, that's one thing me and the mayor did find when we looked at the special events thing. There's no place for me to sign off on that. for that application.
I think that.
I know, that's what's weird, it needs added.
What?
Cause I was looking at, cause I could've swore we had that on
I
there.
thought we did.
And I'm
too.
going through it thinking, where is it at? Cause Dorian used to sign off on it unless he changed it.
All right, we'll put that on that list for this too, but the next thing coming up, that, I forget what it's called. Is it gonna be the Dalton kind of fundraiser, is that what that is?
Something with, well, I don't know how that's gonna go now because the fire department's saying they can't occupy that building, so I don't know how much longer the salmon are gonna be in there.
Yeah,
So.
And they have not turned in one yet. I did tell them that, you know, until they turn that in, nothing's gonna happen, cause that was a stipulation council made.
yeah, can council start getting a copy too, so we know?
If
I mean,
everything
when you
comes
guys
in,
get- When it comes in, you sign off and whatever, just so we can,
Oh yeah, I can scan it in. and
I think
email it
that
out.
we should know too on some of this stuff, because I think probably we might even need another officer over there.
I was always under the understanding, but I've never asked for it to be verified. Margret would probably know this, that at one time they passed an ordinance stating any event over 50 people was to have a detail officer.
Yeah, I don't know the number, but I do remember.
I don't know that, but I do know years ago when the VFW had dances, they had, an officer who would work the duration and the VFW paid him outright.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
when they had the cantina thing the last
Yeah.
time, they paid me to go down there for
Yeah.
like 5 hours.
Right.
Did they pay anybody or let us know about the wrestling events they've been having?
They didn't this last one, it was news to me that they were having wrestling,
So, you know,
Yeah. All
because they
right,
set that one up in their parking lot.
all right, we'll add that to the list to clarify that on the special events too.
thank
Yeah.
you.
We need that.
Yeah, because that was all redone and I remember specifically there was.
Well, what
a
I
section
sent you
there.
is what I have.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that's not something you did. I think it was changed because it had a chief signature.
Yeah.
We noticed that's on this last one, when you handed it to me, she told me to go over it.
Because I even
look at it,
told,
see if
because I
anything
said
was,
to him, I said, there's
if
a
I need to
spot where
approve.
the chief signature is needed, and he's like, I'm telling you, I don't see it. So I looked at it again, I thought, oh, wow, okay.
So on that matter, when does, thanks, Tom, that's on.
Okay.
When's it, Anna, when are you available? Dan?
I'm pretty much open, same things apply. I have to be out of here by 2:30 to go get the kids. So from 2:30 to 4, I'm kind of blocked out.
And how about you, in the next, before the next council meeting? And
Wait a minute, next council meeting's the 17th, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Not this week.
Okay,
Next meeting.
Next week,
Monday, Tuesday?
not, the following week, the 13th is out.
The whole week?
No,
Just the 13th.
Okay, 13th is on. You wanna do it Monday, the 10th?
That should be okay.
Dan? how about
What
you?
time?
We can do it, say like 12:30,
In the afternoon, yeah.
because you gotta be done by,
I gotta be out of here by 2:30.
okay.
What day was
12:30?
that again, the 13th?
The 10th. Will that work for you? 12:30 on the 10th?
Yeah, 12:30 is good for me.
All right,
As well as in contracts, right?
all right. Thanks, guys. That's it.
Okay, now we'll go to committees. We'll start with Dan Pillow.
All right.
Took a while.
Mayor, I'll be very brief. For the park project is moving along pretty much as we thought it would be, and we're hoping by the end of June that we may have everything in place. That's a hope. Let's see. Oh, Mayor. Want to mention again, I know it passed you that we did complete the application for the mini grant for review of our water system.
Yes.
That's been done, and it'll be a matter of going through the steps to see what we hear back from them. The only thing I have, I just want to follow up on the flyer that was dispensed. What do we want as a council to do about that? I'm not a statistics major, but the flyer itself begged to have a real, I don't know what word I want to use, but it only sort of advertised what it was and gave you that option, when in fact, I think that the questionnaire should be a little different than what's presented, and I think that's why Steve brought up the fact that it was supposed to come to us first, so we could look at that and make sure it was put out in a correct form. That being said, I would suggest that we don't act on the responses that we get from that particular flyer, that we kind of hold that null and void until such time council can put out a flyer that is conducive to their wishes. Or you take no action at all, and that's up to council, but that's exactly what I'm asking council to think.
He's saying to make what went out, the responses when they came back, that's all non and void, and you do a new flyer. I believe that's what he's saying.
Would that concept need to be in a motion, or is that just an act of council where, because we have to see the results before we act or do on anything, so they can bring us the results and we can look at them, doesn't mean we're gonna do anything about it? Or do we just need to make a motion and say we just don't even want to see the results?
I would make a motion to that effect, for it to be a very straightforward questionnaire survey.
Yeah, 'cause
Oh, no, I agree with it being straightforward. I think my hang up is, we're gonna get results back. Are you saying we also make a motion to make sure we just don't even look at those at all?
do we
I
have,
believe that would be the best thing for us to do, and put out a survey that is approved by council. This is not approved by us, so we shouldn't even accept it as a true survey. So here's what I'll do to make this simple. I make a motion that the questionnaire that was sent out by the police department, without the authorization of council, be counted as null and void until such time as council approves a survey. That's my motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Dan Polo, second by Steve Dalton. Any further discussion?
What? All right, this was a mistake all the way around. I guess we've all pounded that to death. The thing is, it doesn't make the survey itself invalid, I don't think, because the people that got the survey didn't know whether or not we approved it. I don't see what there should be any admittance of it, and just make it null and void. It's kind of tossing things out the window, especially once it's been paid for. I mean, there was a cost of mailing these out, right?
Yeah,
And it's
there
not-
again, Councilman, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
and who paid for it?
There again, there was a survey sent out without council's consent and without council's approval of that particular survey. I think your statistical knowledge of statistics is limited, but 101 says you don't send out our survey to get good answers. Sort of send out the people and lopsided people who is going to benefit. So there again, that's why I say we just wash it out, redo it, go from there.
It's also, just to be clear, if you didn't see it, it's a single question, just, are you interested in a police canine unit? There's not a lot of information that'll be gathered from it. And to be fair, the imagery that went with it in statistical terms is it's a biased survey. You're basically trying to say we need a canine because otherwise drugs will be on the street. That's kind of the imagery that's sent with it in terms of statistical analysis.
Thank you both.
Any further discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
what was it? Say it. I
You
didn't-
said
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Now, who's gonna put together the survey?
Did you have anything else, Dan Pillow?
No, ma'am, Mayor, thank you very much.
All right, Lisa Stafford.
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
All right, thanks, Lisa. Dan Dalton.
Just a quick question directed at Bob. Did you write down the stuff where you had objections or questions about the Lexipol stuff? I know you had said you'd worked
I'm on the last 100 pages right now.
the last.
On the last 100 pages.
All right, thank you very much, Robert.
And it's unreal. But you should have it hopefully by Wednesday morning.
Okay. As soon as I get it, we'll get a police committee meeting together and go over it. Or should we just pass it straight to laws and contracts?
I think you need to look at it,
That's what I thought too, but
and then we'll see.
it's been.
It needs to go through police.
Well, it was gonna get there eventually.
No,
No problem.
everything can't go to us directly. Well, come on
I
now.
won't
Police
vote
has
for
to go
this.
through some of it.
Wait. Okay. I-
Was you finished?
More than.
All right, thanks, Dan. We'll move to Ann Pillow.
Thanks. The only thing I had was that we did have a planning committee meeting over at the school on the 20th. I did send out a flyer, I guess you call it. And what we did was looked at where the playground stands at this point. And you see that the swings, lights, and the poles are waiting on delivery. The blacktop should be done soon. We also discussed the shelter. We're still looking for someone to give us an estimate, and Mr. Larry is looking at builders. And then we talked about the future items, which is a basketball court, splash park, as funds become available. And we are also looking at setting up a volunteer date after the blacktop delivers, perhaps June 12th or 19th, for installation of equipment. And Dan Pillow is working on a grant from Nature Nooks, or not Nature Nooks, Nature Works for park improvements. And also, I sent out a text for a meeting on Wednesday the 6th at 6 o'clock at the park for the planning committee, for a planning committee meeting at that time.
At the park.
And they were, say again,
At the park.
at the park.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Miss Ann.
Margaret, I'm sorry, Margaret, would you please post that?
Yes, Ann, I wrote it down.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Steve Dalton.
I emailed everybody the minutes from the finance committee meeting. We already talked about local government. In the committee kind of tossed around about the police chief. The committee did talk about the finances for the cost of hiring the police chief. The funds are there. We shouldn't have any issues. The only caution that we have or concern, if we were to hire the new chief at the exiting chief's salary, so what's currently posted, that's pretty close to the max of what the village can do. So it's kind of, we don't have a lot of room to be able to raise that over years. which I know is kind of a concern when you hire somebody after they work for a while, you want to be able to reward them. Again, not that that's a big issue, just telling council, like, we've kind of got the police chief priced at what we can afford, and unless we somehow magically cut costs significantly or have a giant boom in revenue, that number is not going to change too much in the near future. So we just wanted to throw that out there, but we have everything we need financially to be able to hire the new chief. We also discussed Paycor. Currently, the committee is in line with, we should as a village just stay with Paycor. We actually would like to meet, the finance committee would like to meet with Paycor to look at and explore them taking on tracking time cards, sick leave, vacation leave, and kind of see what they can do to kind of take care of all our personnel tracking needs. And with council's blessing, are we okay with the finance committee exploring down that avenue? And coming back to council with a proposal and cost and what that might look like?
I think it's a good idea.
The other question I had is, last I remember, council made the official vote that we should leave Paycor. That was a couple years ago. Do we need to counteract that motion? Bob?
You do need a motion to terminate it.
Should I motion to stay with Paycor or motion to terminate leaving Paycor?
Terminate.
Well, if you want to stay with Paycor, you're with Paycor, so you won't need anything for that. If you want to terminate it, then you'll need to make a motion and.
So we already made a motion to terminate it a couple years ago.
Okay.
We never left them. So do we need to counteract that original motion or just kind of keep going forward?
Well, if you want it to be done with Paycor, just pass an ordinance, say you're terminating the relationship.
Bob, I don't
3
think
years ago, we made that motion to terminate Paycor.
But we never left them.
We never did it. Do I need to counteract that now, since it was never done?
Hey, we want to stay with it, Bob.
You're gonna stay with Paycor?
Yes, we had them with Paycor all this time. We didn't separate from them because we had all the stuff going on with audits, and I needed to be able to get stuff for them to do with the audits. So nothing ever happened, and I really want to stay with Paycor. I have a better understanding. I've taught myself. I've worked with different ones. Where when it first began, they were going to do everything and they didn't do anything. So.
Then pass a motion that says we're gonna stay with Paycor. That's all you'll need to do.
Then I'd like to make a motion. Or that Bob said we're staying with Paycor.
I'll second it.
Motion by Steve, second by Angelo to stay with Paycor. Now, I just have one question. Are we gonna be able to use it to its fullest to be able to clock in and stuff too?
That's what we want to meet with the rep for.
Okay, thank you.
We want to meet with the reps so that they can come out, talk to the finance committee, talk to council if they need to, and our employees have got to be trained. They
Yeah,
just
that's
can't,
fine.
that's what we want. If they're
Okay.
going to do it all, then we need all of the parts to make it work right.
Thank you. Any discussion? No discussion, we'll go.
Dan Pillow?
Yeah, obviously. Okay. I was in discussion, I'm sorry.
Okay, discussion.
Mayor, yeah,
I hate Zoom.
will we anticipate, a raise, is that what you will be exploring on the finance committee? A raise in the cost?
Yeah, we're gonna explore the cost and all the other stuff, and we'll come back with council with what the cost would be and what's offered, and let council kind of make a decision from there.
Well, in my discussion, I think we'd be better off voting yay or nay after we get the report from the finance committee.
So the idea is we're gonna stay with them for taking care of our pay now. That doesn't change any costs. We're not voting on increasing our services with them right now. That we would come back for.
They're currently doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Right. This ain't about increasing the cost yet. Or if there is an increase in
There
cost.
probably won't be an increase.
Can you repeat the motion as it was originally made, so
So you,
everybody's...
you state, okay, this is a vote to say the state would pay for it.
Yes, but it doesn't change what we're already doing with paper.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay,
did he say yay?
I think you said yay. Did you say yay, Dan?
I said yay.
Okay.
Well, yay.
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay!
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
Okay.
All right, Mayor, I got one more thing and I will shut up. The Finance Committee met to talk about and try to come up with some language to create the ordinance for the timely fashion in terms of deposits being made. What the committee is recommending is that once a deposit hits our account, the treasurer would have 3 days to have the receipt written and in the hands of the clerk. Then the clerk has 3 days to get that receipt into our UAN system. Now, Margret was concerned about that was going to take too long. So I'm open for discussion. This is just what the Finance Committee kind of came up with. Each financial position gets 3 days to make sure records are recorded. And then basically, from the time something hits the bank to the time it's in the UAN system is a 6-day window, is the goal.
I really don't care because you're not listening to me.
And I kind of wrote this language up, but again, it says rough draft for Bob to actually polish it and make it seem much more official. And again, like even when we talked with Bob, there should be exemptions made, like if there's family emergency or illness. But in normal operating procedures, this would be the recommendation. Does council have a preference with this?
No, what we're saying is,
She picks them up on Monday.
if she picks them up on Monday, it has to be back to the Margret within 3 days.
On Wednesday. And when she picks up on Wednesday, I get back on Friday. What she takes on Friday, I get back on Monday. That's what the three of us who handle money and deposits talked about.
So it's, well, that
Who's
is,
the three of us?
The three of us is myself, Audrey, and Lisa Walker, the water board clerk. Because we're basically the three who do the deposits. With Audrey working, I have been doing the deposits and then I give the deposit, I either put it in her office or Lisa Walker will lock it up in the box. And Audrey is texted and told that the deposits are here from the bank to come and, pick them up so she can write the receipts.
So Audrey, you're good with it?
It appears to me if all three of those people are in agreement that I have no problem.
Yes, I'm totally in agreement with that. Lisa and I met before I went back to work full-time, and I explained to her the timeliness that was needed because there were some times that I would go weeks at a time without getting any kind of deposits from the bank. When I would get them, I would have a huge stack, and when I'm working 56 hours a week, that is impossible almost to do. So if I can get a text message that says, hey, I have my deposits ready, they're in the gray box. I come and get them on my way home like I did tonight, pick them up, write the receipts, and then if I don't take them back to the office in the morning, I have Thomas drop them off to Margret Ann in the morning. So there's a timely turnaround. I pick them up one day, they go right back the next day, tops 2 days.
Good.
And so far, the last month, that has been working really well. Anybody have any questions about that?
And I prefer it stay that way.
Fun?
Exactly. Every day, a smoother flow of ins and outs is gonna be better across the board.
So then do we need to change our language to say the turnaround is 2 days instead of 3?
I think the language is just saying what myself, Lisa, and Margret have already talked about and decided upon. So if you guys want to run with it, we're all in agreement with that. We like that word.
But I think that we should remove the 6-day thing out of there.
I'll have that removed, Margaret. That was more a comment after the fact.
Yeah.
That was my bad.
I mean, we
6 days.
sort of worked it out ourselves, and when she made the comment about having, you know, the 2 weeks where she wasn't getting receipts, that was when there was, one of them was when the water clerk got new software. She had to finish out that system to transfer into the, you know, and stuff like that. But she's pretty much on it where she's keeping regular deposits. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for the water board having money going in every day, we'd be hurting.
Okay, so we're good with the language. Actually, in the language, I didn't even put the 6 days. That was in my overall just general comments explaining it. So I will give it to Bob to make it really legal and official versus a math teacher trying to write words. And we can go on from there. That's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thanks, Steve. Pam?
Only thing I have is, bid for that, ramp for that door, everybody was sent, the one from Dick Weber. There was 2 of them he sent, actually, one for putting a wall back there, I don't know where that came from, I guess some conversation somewhere. But this was for a quote from American Construction and Remodeling Specialist, everybody should have got that. And it was for $5,538, that's wood versus the other one that was almost $30,000 was the one that was concrete. So, I mean, basically it would serve the same purpose, it's just whatever council's pleasure is. But this is out of the COVID grant money. So we really need to move on spending some of that money.
Yeah,
And we gotta
because-
put a door, we need something out that, drop off outside that door.
And on that note with the COVID, I did send an updated report to Michelle Bells at Hamilton County that had $13,000 value to it. I reported what we did as far as the personnel who used COVID money when they were offered different things, and the computers for the water board, for their laptops, and I included the door stating that that was a one-way entrance for Mayor's Court so that clients wouldn't pass one another to spread germs. But anything that we do with this COVID money, the final report to Hamilton County is June 30th. And that's to do with that amendment that you passed at the last meeting.
So, I mean, if everybody's in agreement with the wood, because it's saying your wood decking with the railing system, I mean, it's the same concept. So, whatever council's pleasure is, but I'd like to make a motion that if we go ahead with this estimate from the American Construction Remodeling Specialist for $5,538, unless the wood charge he has on here, it could change, because lumber's real expensive right now.
Oh, God, yes.
It's like gold.
So the longer we wait, you know, we can't use the door, plus this could increase. Council's pleasure.
So do we need to,
I just put a motion. Dan seconded. Yeah.
Who made the motion? You made the motion. Pillow second?
yeah.
Okay. Motion by Pam, seconded by Dan Philo. Any discussion?
What was the cost difference for concrete?
It was almost 29,000. You guys got it? Yeah, it was a lot.
It was the same people who installed the one at the post office. They're out of Kentucky. He sent a quote and it was $29,000, almost $30,000.
Did we get anybody else to look at quotes for concrete?
We've tried, but everybody's so
No,
busy.
that's the only quote we have.
Yeah.
Because I'm just worried that the building's all stone and concrete, and that's gonna look kind of weird having a wood ramp on that door. It's in terms of the flow of the building.
It'll have aluminum railings.
It'll look a lot,
It'll have aluminum
it'll look a
railings.
lot like,
I'm sorry.
it'll look a lot like the VFW ramps.
But this does say aluminum railings, if you read that quote.
Oh, I was-
Okay, so I'm looking at the email that was a forward from Pam and Dick Weber, and I don't see a quote in it. So I'm missing the whole quote.
I think you sent that separate, Pam.
Yeah. Yeah,
The deputy sent
I
separate.
think I did, I'll forget it, and I sent it right after that. It didn't attach. You should have got another one.
I didn't.
Someone got, you got on your computer?
I'm looking
I'll get
right
Margaret
now.
to, if she finds hers, to forward it real quick.
So, as we discuss this, the other quote that we got, Steve, for your benefit, I don't know who all got it. This individual had travel time, hotel stays, mileage, all that kind of stuff in that concrete
I know,
ramp. It would have been nice, it would have been great looking. I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know. I know I didn't explore any more people to do concrete.
Yeah, we're having
We
a,
have cut it in half.
But
Yeah.
you've had people that have come in.
We have cut it in half, but this
Yeah.
is federal money. We should get something that's gonna make everybody happy. Look good, make everybody happy.
If the money's there, either spend it
Yeah,
or lose
that's
it.
the question, is the money, if the money's
the
there,
money's there.
if the money's there, I'd rather have the concrete because it'll last.
Well, let me explain on the money. The money from COVID, the final 13,000 is what I sent to Hamilton County. The other money that went in COVID was actually from the Ohio Bureau of Workmen's Comp to be, they said it was COVID money, but it could be used where need be. So I wouldn't really say that it was, exactly, it is, but it isn't. I know that sounds strange, but, yeah.
Yeah, the concrete would last forever, I agree.
If it's.
Because you're gonna be revisiting that if you do the wood.
Yeah, and depending on,
And then when it's wet, I know what select board is.
yeah,
I know they put stuff on it, but
if it's coming out of their pocket,
It is.
I'd like to see concrete, I really would.
Well, the only thing about that is, we've reached out to several people and no one's come back with any quotes except the one that was the 30,000.
everybody is just overwhelmed with
Work.
COVID. That's the problem.
Lisa Stafford, I just sent that to you.
Anybody?
Thank you.
So I don't have any objections to going with the concrete quote either. I mean, it's just whatever council wants.
Yes. With that, I will withdraw my second
Yeah,
on that motion.
I'll withdraw it. If we'd rather go with concrete, I don't have a problem with that. I'll make that motion to that effect.
The next thing is
Yeah,
scheduling it with the guy.
Yeah. I don't know how long it'll take them, but hopefully we can get that in very soon because it has to be done before we,
Well, it said June 30th is what I
I
have to
don't
have
know
everything
if
to
we've
county.
got if we've got the work order in, if that's gonna be good enough. I don't think
They
so.
said they actually need the canceled payment. That's what I ran into problems
So the
before.
sooner you vote on this, the sooner
Right.
you could see if it can be done.
Yeah,
You made the motion, correct?
yes,
Does anybody want to second that?
To go with the concrete?
concrete.
Did anybody second that?
Second.
I withdrew my second
On the wood.
on the quote that we have.
I'll give you the one for the
I did
concrete.
too, the first.
Yeah, and Pam made a motion to go with the concrete, so I was wondering who seconded that one.
Oh, okay, yes, then I will second.
Okay, motion by Pam to go with the concrete, second by Dan Pillow. Any further discussion?
Nope.
No discussion, we'll vote.
Dan Pillow,
Yay.
Lisa Stafford,
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay. The only other thing, I know we're gonna need a sign over that door. And I did look at them at like Home Depot or whatever, and Lowe's. They're not very expensive. You're talking like $100, but if you light up, I know there'll be some electricity or something, so whatever that cost will be. But I'm sure that the fire department's gonna get us and make us do that also.
What about the communication sign? Do we know has anybody looked into that?
And then the other thing on the COVID, yeah, Margaret's talking about is the sign, the communication signs. Was you checking on that, Steve? I thought,
Yes, I was.
so where are we at?
I have a vendor that Margaret sent me that I have to call him.
The one that the township sent me?
Yes,
Yeah. I reached out to Margie over at the township to where they got their sign in front of their building, the township building. And she sent me that. Steve, do you know where we stand on the webpage? The up thing?
I know, Matthew is working on it.
Okay, because
I
I
have a
did.
more clear update than that.
Okay.
All right, that's all I had. I was just trying to bring up the
No,
COVID
yeah,
stuff.
that's fine. Is that all you have?
Pam?
Yes. Go ahead.
I will, I have a little extra time. I will work to see what we can do with concrete on that as well.
Do what now?
I said I will work, because I have some extra time, I'll work to see what we can do on getting those concrete quotes.
You just accepted.
We just accepted one of them, Dan.
You just accepted a concrete quote?
Yeah, did you not hear what we were voting on, the 30,000?
Oh, boy.
I didn't either.
No, I thought we were voting just to go with concrete. I didn't know we were
To
switching on
go with
that.
time, yeah, that's what I thought as well.
That's what I was voting for.
So should we strike that from record?
Well, that's what I said. I guess I don't like this lag time because you can't really hear it all.
Yeah, I'm getting sick of these meetings.
All right, so I'll withdraw. We want to get some
But I just
votes.
want to make, yeah, I just want to make sure what your motion was, that we all heard it wrong. You were just making a motion that we explore concrete
No,
quotes.
to accept the
Oh,
bid.
okay.
No, I thought that we were going to look for other bids for concrete. I certainly didn't think we were saying we was going to spend 20,000 or 30,000, whatever it was for that grant.
All right, well, I can withdraw that. That's fine, no problem. Who seconded it?
Dan,
Me.
hello?
Yes,
You gonna withdraw
absolutely.
your second?
Withdraw, please withdraw my second.
And then you're going to look at, people who do concrete work. You,
Yeah,
Dan.
absolutely. I mean, I'll help out, in that committee to see if we can get some quotes and get them back in here by, next council meeting.
Yes, because
Yeah.
we have that June deadline. It has to be installed, voted, approved.
I have to have the cancel check to prove that we did it. They just won't take, we have a promise. I tried that and she told me no.
That's all I had. That was it. I'm glad we cleared it up before contract.
Yes, I do.
Is that all you have, Pam?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, council, you want to hang around or?
We love it here. I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
I don't ever get to do that.
Motion by Pam to adjourn, second by Dan Dalton. Any questions? No. Take the vote.
That's because I'm
Dan Pillow,
my second time.
Yay.
Lisa Stafford,
That's why I was kind of like.
Yay.
Dan Dalton,
Yay.
Ann Pillow,
Yay.
Steve Dalton,
Yay.
Pam Jackson.
Yay.
All right, meeting adjourned.
Hot damn.